Hi everyone! So in this video I'm going to be doing some gel pen work. Some of you may know I just swatched my first set of 120 gel pen set. And now in this coloring page that I just did, I downloaded as a free coloring page from Super Coloring, and I've used, so far, all I've used is some Prismacolor watercolor for the background, and all the rest of it is Crayola color pencils. So this is what I've got so far. So it's pretty much done as far as those two with color. I mean, I could do more with color pencil. You can always do more with color pencil, but I stopped here because I want to use, do some glycerin kind of painting with the gel pens. So I'm going to be trying that for the first time with this. I mean, I tested it out a little bit, and I showed you in a picture on my community page what I ended up doing for organizing. I have them all numbered, and with a ultra-fine Sharpie, that's not the ultra-fine Sharpie, with an ultra-fine Sharpie pen that I can't find right now, but I was able to just number all of my gel pens so they are in order, so I can easily find them from the list here. And this really comes in handy because I noticed when I was swatching these in a live video, I couldn't really tell. I'm like, is that metallic? Is that glitter? I'm not sure, because when they're wet, it's kind of hard to tell. You can't tell till it's completely dry, now I realize. So after all the colors dried, now I can see exactly. These are all the sparkly ones down here. The sparkles came out more after it dried. And I can see, these are definitely the metallics. So definitely want to have a dry swatch in order to judge how it's going to end up looking on your coloring page. So besides color pencil, you'll want to swatch those gel pens. I think, anyways. I do. So here is the, again, Prismacolor watercolor back, Crayola color pencil in the front with the fire and the Santa and the rug. And now I'm going to start with the gel pen. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my glycerin that I use to make, that I mix with alcohol to make marker, color pencil blend my markers. And I'm going to put just a drop here on some Scotch tape. I put a little piece of Scotch tape on there to put that on top of, so it doesn't get absorbed in the paper. And I get my paintbrush, my cheap little flat brush here, ready to go there. And the glycerin doesn't dry up it stays there for ever, so you don't have to worry about that drying up or anything. And I'm going to use this red, which for me is number 20. And it's not going to help you, though, because you have to number it the same way. But using this red, I don't have a dark red in this gel pen set. So I may have to take back my earlier prediction that I would only get one set. There's a chance, depending on how it goes with me in gel pens. Now, there's two ways you can go about, right? So I'm going to use glycerin mixing with a gel pen. So there's two ways from what I've seen on other people's videos to do it. I can take the glycerin and put it over a section first and then put gel pen on top of that and spread it out. Or put the gel pen on first and then use the glycerin to spread it out not so far. So I'm going to do it that way. So I'm going to use my red gel pen. I'm going to try to brighten up Santa here a little bit because he's all red, but I think he could use some more color. So I'm just going to, hopefully this works, putting the gel pen on top of the color pencil here. It's red on red, so it's a little hard to see. Now I'm going to dip into a little bit of the glycerin and just go ahead and try stretching that out, pulling that out. Stretching that out. Pulling out. Oh, so it is moving around. I can see I'm filling up all the white spaces there. Yeah, because there are still some white spaces in the Crayola. Oh, yeah. I think that I definitely can see that. Of course, it's still wet now. So let's see when it dries if I still like it. If it still looks... I had one pen, so I got this 120 set Creative Inspirations, and one of the pens, I was fighting with it yesterday, the dark green one, there's something wrong with the pen. This pen is fine, but I'm just not seeing it come off on the colored pencil. Maybe I'm just having trouble seeing it because I'm doing red on red, so it's a little hard to see. But yeah, I had one dud out of all the pencils, which isn't bad. I mean, can't complain, everything, but the price and all, but it is what it is. So here, I'll zoom in a little bit. Maybe that'll help here. You can see a little better. Okay. Working on Santa's suit here. So you can see I'm filling in the white area. There's some. Get the glycerin out of the way there. So I'm just filling in the outside of the sleeve with the red. I don't have a dark red, like I said, so I'm just making his suit brighter here. And putting it on top of the Crayola color pencil here. Yeah, it rolls on top pretty easily. Like I said, red on red is kind of hard to see, that's all. I can definitely see the darkening, the saturation increase here with the glycerin. Just using a little touch of glycerin here. And the glycerin is very gooey after you put it on, so you do have to let it sit and dry, but it dries up nicely, you know, goes away, evaporates and all that. So, but it is gooey, it is wet for a while. You have to be careful because it's like watercolor. I'm used to watercolor painting, so I'm already trained to avoid the wet spots, you know. But if you're not used to watercolor painting at all and you start using gel pen this way with glycerin, you've got to be aware not to, you know, accidentally your hand go on top of it. So you can see the red coming out here. You see coloring in the red gel pen showing there. It's coming out, making his suits a little bit brighter and redder there. And of course, when you use a little bit of glycerin, it is kind of like water going on top of it, so it is gonna thin it out a little bit. Now, if I really wanted to spread out further, I could put the glycerin on first, and that way I could paint the whole suit, which I might do anyways. I might just color him all in. But I want a little contrast there. You know, you always want a contrast. So there. So now I have a nice contrast. I already put some darker pencil in here to give it a little shading, but now I got a little more lighter to darker red, which I think makes them pop a little bit more. And you always want that popping, right? You always definitely want Santa to pop. Santa's got to pop. There we go. There's a lot of glycerin there. So I'm sort of covering this a little bit. Now, again, another thing you can do, which I haven't done yet, I'm going to do right now, is on the Scotch tape, is to put the gel pen ink, little blob there, again, a little bit of glycerin, mix that up. And the glycerin and the gel pen smooths it right out like paint. So I don't even have to color on I don't have to worry about coloring the gel pen on top of the pencil. I can just paint it on like this. Again, nice smooth. That's probably a little easier than what I was doing. I was trying to get the gel pen on the color pencil. This is actually easier doing it this way, I think. Yeah, I should have done this from the start. See, I'm new at this. I'm just starting out, so. But there are so many excellent videos out there about this, particularly Coloring Bliss. I mean, she's the one that nailed this. Excellent work. She's always coming up with the latest advancements in coloring pages here to give it that extra pop. So again, I'm going to dip it into the glycerin a little bit and then mix it with gel pen color. Anything to do with color, with watercolor, I love. And this is so much like watercoloring. It really feels like it. It's a lot of fun. And if you enjoy this, you may want to buy yourself some watercolors and start experimenting with them, because I know a lot of people like to use the distressed ink, or what else do they use for the backgrounds? They use the gelatos, which are very expensive, the ones I saw. Maybe there's cheaper ones. I think I was looking at the more expensive brands, but they're kind of pricey because gelatos, I think, are made to go on anything. They're kind of like Posca pens or something. But if you just get some, you can just get some inexpensive watercolor pencils or watercolors that you can easily fill in the background. But of course, the paper, you have to have it on good cardstock. So this is 80-pound Spring Hill vellum paper, so it's a little thicker. So I am really happy so far with how the gel pen red is making Santa pop just a little bit more. And I could get him with the color pencils that I was using. Again, I was using the Crayola color pencils, which aren't the most pigmented, but they are pretty good. You know, if you layer them up right. I didn't spend a lot of time on this particular page, as it's, you know, it's just a fun holiday Santa page. Just want to have a little fun with it. Be a little festive. But yeah, doesn't that, it colors up nicely, right? The gel pen with glycerin really does the job. He's really, I think, looking much brighter now. Okay, so I think Santa's done there. So now I'm going to do, now being careful not to touch the wet spots, I'm going to move the glycerin over. I have to maneuver my things around. I got my gel pens in front of me and move things around here. Okay, so now I want to move up to here. So I didn't color the ribbon so much. I just left it for later because I wanted to test out the gel pens with it. So I just did a little light layer there, again with the Crayola. And I'm going to use the same red for the ribbon here. So I'm mixing it again. A little bit of glycerin here. I see it there. Got my glycerin blob there. Just mixing that up. The glycerin mixes so well with the gel pens. It really does. Right away it gets all soupy, perfect like paint. And let's see. Let's do the inside first. Look at that. I'm not going to fill up the entire inside. I want to leave a little highlight there. I could use another lighter color for the bottom half of the ribbon here. But you know, you see with the glycerin really lightens it up. So I'm just going to take a little dab of glycerin. I'm not going to add any color. I'm just going to blend that in. So actually you can get a lighter color just by adding a little more glycerin. It's like adding water to watercolor. You just make it lighter that way. So you don't really need a dark and light color when you can just add more glycerin or water if you're using water and smooth it out that way. And of course you can just use a color pencil or something too if you want to do that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more color in here. I want a little darker there and a little darker here on the end. Try to give it more of a 3D. Okay. Something over there, a little darker there. Of course, the top of this and the bottom of this. And start pulling that in. You do want to work as quickly as you can when you're working with a wet medium. You don't want to dilly-dally, right? You know, I get in there and mix it. So you want an idea of, before you even start, where you're going to shade, where you're going to have the highlight. So you can quickly hit those spots, hit those shades and highlights in the right way. But this glycerin with the gel pen really lasts a long time. It'll sit there and you can reactivate it. You can always reactivate the gel ink. It's really good. It's like water. It is like watercolor in many ways with the glycerin here. It's really good. Yeah, so that's popping. I'll make the ornaments gold and I'll make his beard more gray. So to get my gold color, I'm going with the numbers that I have here, 115 and 102. Sort of an orangey look to it. So it's going to be this. These are sparkle as well, so they will sparkle. So I think in this case, instead of just, because it's such a small area, I'm not going to use the paintbrush. And I got to be careful with the wet areas of the glycerin areas. Turn this around a little bit. And I'm just going to go around. I think I'm just going to color this one in the old-fashioned way. Because dealing with a small area, paintbrush is going to be too much. I mean, I could use a smaller brush, but I mean, you can mix so well with just coloring too. It blends so well. Yeah, there. That's pretty. Sparkles are perfect for ornaments. Trying to leave a little more of a highlight there. And I'm going right over that black line, covering up. Because these gel pens do cover the black lines, although not completely, because this is a lighter color of so I'm just using more yellow, the lighter yellow, and bringing out, yeah. Before this, I had put a light layer of light gray or light purple, the color pencil. So I'm going over that color pencil now. Yeah, there. Okay, I think that came out pretty well. I'm happy. Now, to have some harmony, you always want to use the same colors in different parts of the painting. I think I can use these same colors with the flame. So again, I've got the yellow and the darker kind of goldish orange. I'm going to go over the outside flame line. See, I already had yellow and orange there I had put on before. I have a decision here. I can use the gel pen or I could use the glycerin to smooth that out. I think I'll just do it regular gel pen. Do it old school. Go on with the yellow gel pen, bring that down. And I may use my glycerin at the end to just smooth it out towards the white flame in the middle. Yeah, I was trying to cover the white line there. It didn't work. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of the glycerin and I'm going to pull these down into the flame here. So I'm going to mix it up a little, smooth it out. I like blending it. Maybe put a little bit more there. Get that glycerin out again. Smooth that in. Because it is a fire, so it's not going to be perfect. I'm going outside the line now, just to make it look a little bit more wild. A wildfire here. But I'm going to take the glycerin and smooth that, make it more blended, blend it out a little bit. Because otherwise it's going to look too liney. I don't want to see any sharp lines. There we go, make it look more fuzzy, I guess I could say. Yeah, it kind of brings it alive a little bit, right? Now, I love the black in this one. It's so dark that I have it as my number 12 here. I'm going to bring in some more drama here with this fire and the black, and I'll use it on the Santa as well. To make the flame pop even more, I'm going to use the black and bring it down with the glycerin. Because I did look at some fire pictures online when I was coloring this. And I can see it's very dark in the background on top when you have a fire in the fireplace. I mean, depending on what picture you're looking at, you know, whether it's the outside lighting can make a difference as well. So I'm just going to put some black here on the tape. You can see that right on the Scotch tape. Some of this nice dark black gel ink. Mix that with a little glycerin. It's like a nice midnight black. And I go back here. I get even darker. Now this could be a place where you could add the glycerin inside the area, and because that would really smooth it out even more. I might put a little glycerin even underneath it to blend it out even more. But you don't want too much black. I do kind of want to phase this. I'm using just glycerin now to bring it down more, to sort of blend it towards the flame. A little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of black on the sides up here. I don't want to stop there with a sudden stop, so I get some glycerin. I want to pull this down a little further. There we go. You don't want a line there. I want it kind of smooth. And the glycerin stays wet for a while, so you can go back and move it around again, add a little more, fix things. I'm going to add a little black underneath as well. You want dark right under the flame. Bring it out more, shadows. Yeah, I think the flame is really popping now, much more than before. So all the areas that I put black in, I'm going to go over it with some gel pen black so it really pops. So the darker areas. Yeah, there we go. Happy with that. I could go further with the white gel, make it lighter in the middle, but I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm happy the way it is. Okay. So much you can do. I could recolor everything with gel pen. But I want to get Santa. I got to go back to Santa. Now, keeping in mind, he's almost dry. I don't know if you can see, but his gel, the glycerin is almost completely dry now. So it does dry relatively quickly. And I'm going to go in and I think I'm going to paint on. I want to do his boots and belt. And because they're wide areas, I'm just going to put some more black on the Scotch tape and mix it first with the glycerin and just sort of paint it on like watercolor with my brush. I think that's going to be easier. See, in this case, because it's a larger area, I'm going to be able to much easier with a brush just smooth that, color that right in. Nice dark shadow line there. You can see that. Now there I have like a sharp line going down, so that's where I'm going to add just a little touch more glycerin to smooth that out further, but not adding more color, just keeping it light. Get a nice gradient. Yeah, I do it over here at the side of his belt, make that darker there. Oh, I haven't colored in his belt yet. I think I'm going to use that yellow color. So the same yellow orange I use for the fire and for the ornaments, I'm going to use on his belt. There we go. But before I do that, I've got to do his boots. So that's how I get some color harmony here. I'm using the same colors. It all look blended together. The picture will come together. So again, I get to that point, I got a line going down, so I'm going to take some glycerin and plain glycerin and just smooth that out, get a nice gradient. So I do want it to be light in the front where the fire is. Have that contrast, and a little bit dark here. So I'm just doing the top parts of his boots. Get a little touch of glycerin. Bring that out. Get a little bit more. Use this flat brush to just pull that out. Okay, getting a little more black gel pen back here. Yeah, this black gel pen does not disappoint. It's very dark. Great contrast here, great shading. There's some drama here. And with Santa, you know, Santa's middle name is Drama, so you've got to have some drama with his coloring. If you color Santa, you got to have a little drama. There we go. He's got to pop out. He's an important dude, right? Okay, so a little bit more. Mixing a little more gel with the black to finish off his other boot here. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Using the gel with the glycerin, gel pens with glycerin. All right. So I think we've done that. So I'll quickly wash off my brush and my cup of water, wipe it off, put it aside. And now we're going to move to his belt. And again, using that same, I don't know if you can see it yet, but it's very sparkly there in the ornaments and whatnot. It's very sparkly. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. Hopefully you can. Yeah, you can see that, the sparkles there. So you get the sparkle there, sparkle in the fire. Now we're going to put the same sparkle on Santa's belt. So again, with the yellow and the dark orangish color, I'm just going to, he should have a gold buckle, I think. Well, I'm going to give him a gold buckle anyways. So I'm going to make them all yellow at first, but then I'm going to go in with my darker orangey color and sort of go over this side. Yeah, it's going to make it come out more yellow in the middle. So the sides will be a little bit like that. And I'll just go in a little more, sort of blend it out, the yellow again. There. So Santa has a nice sparkly belt now. Some bling going on. So I think I'm going to stop right there. I think it's enough gel pen for today with this picture. I think I've got the parts that I want to pop out are popping out. So I'm going to leave the rest just regular color pencil because I think the gel pen really brings out the features that you want to stand out. And I could leave the rest the way it is. So there you have it. There is my gel pen on color pencil, Crayola color pencil with Prismacolor watercolor pencils. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.